Hello, my name is Kiriath, and today we are going to take a look at the stuff what was announced at Nova Open. It's that time of year again. Last time we had this, I think it was this, I predicted Emperor's Children for Nova, and that did not happen at all, funnily enough. Although we did get some Slaanesh stuff, so maybe halfway there. This year, I predicted via Twitter, everyone ready for Games Workshop to announce Tomb Kings for Age of Sigmar, and a new Armageddon campaign book featuring Orcs vs World Eaters vs Imperium at Nova. I did not get that correct. That was not right in any way, shape or form. Although, in fairness, it was pretty close for just throwing out a bunch of half wish list, half jokes. Because we did get some guys that are most definitely death-related for Age of Sigmar, and we also have news on what the Psychic Awakening thing is, which turns out to be a massive campaign for every faction. So, the crystal ball was slightly fogged, but it was fine. So let's take a look at what we've got. So first up, let's have a look at the Psychic Awakening trailer. That sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? To be honest, I haven't watched this yet, but I have heard tell that there may be, within here, some sort of Black Templar imagery. In fact, we can quite clearly see in that thumbnail that there is some Black Templar imagery on these vessels. Excellent.
All the might humanity can muster. Let us hope it is enough. Not since the Despoiler shattered the Cadian Gate and tore the galaxy in two. Not since the War Master betrayed the Emperor and set the galaxy aflame have we faced such peril. I am a Lord Inquisitor of the Holy Ordos. In defense of humanity, I have toppled tyrants, and I have doomed worlds. And yet, in this moment, against the rising threat, I feel powerless. The Great Rift sundered the Imperium. For half of mankind's empire, the war is already lost. For the rest, I fear the ending bell is set to toll. Tyranids swarm the angels of Baal. Orcs amass in numbers not seen since the Beast. And humanity stumbles into psychic annihilation. The galaxy slips towards oblivion. Have we the strength to push back the dark? We are led by the Emperor's own son. We wage war on 1,000,000 worlds. We buy each new tomorrow with the blood of 1,000,000,000 lives. And still, whatever price we pay, however many souls we sacrifice, it may not be enough. Rise or fall, this fate shall not be mankind's alone.
That was a bit intense, wasn't it? Christ, okay. First of all, highly heretical speak there from an Inquisitor. None of that. How dare you have doubts? What the hell is your problem? But we quite clearly saw some fairly prominent Black Templar markings there, which I have to admit are quite exciting given the rumours that I was sent not that long ago. In fact, of all the ships, that was the one that I most picked out. I did have a look at the others, but I don't know whether it was just me, but I didn't see anything particularly specific. But there was definitely a big black cross on a white background, and a specific mention of orcs massing in numbers not seen since the Beast. All of that stuff is... yeah, okay. Alright, so, it's a new campaign series that spans the entire galaxy, so a monumental event that will shape Warhammer 40,000 forever on a scale unlike anything we've seen before, allegedly. And every codex will see expanded rules as they explore the frontline war zones of a cataclysmic new conflict that makes the 13th Black Crusade look like a border scuffle. The first one or the retconned one? Which are we talking about here? So yeah, every single faction has got something going on in Psychic Awakening, and that is quite big because it means that there will be powerful and thematic rules updates for at least 2 factions in each book. That's a lot. That's quite a lot that's going to happen there, and it also means that there's going to be new models, including plastic Howling Banshees. You know how not that long ago I was like, hey, any chance of some plastic aspect warriors? Come on, lads, let's see it. Let's go. Let's have them. Apparently, yeah. Yeah, the answer to that demand was, sure, why not? We'll do that. Admittedly, that's not how that works. These have obviously been in development for years, but still, the timing on it couldn't be more perfect. It's a plastic aspect warrior, and they haven't messed with it too badly. It doesn't look like massively overdeveloped. It's not like stupidly busy. It's not. It's just a plastic Howling Banshee. It's just an update. This is literally exactly what I wanted, and was saying that should be done. And now it's being done, and I am super happy. I mean, if going into Psychic Awakening, this means that we see a bunch of new stuff for Xenos players especially, I'll be well chuffed. I'll be really, really happy with that. You guys deserve more attention. Your armies deserve more love. This is obviously just the start, but it does indicate there is movement in that direction, which is exactly what we want. I do like that. It does look good. It's a plastic aspect warrior. I mean, come on. Next to plastic sisters of battle, this feels like a similarly unlikely thing to see in the near future. And yet, both now. It is actually, it's happening. They are updating the old stuff. They're getting round to it. It's taken a while, but they're getting round to it. Looks so good. Okay, there's also, okay, so let's watch this first. The temptation to throw in clips of Linkin Park and Papa Roach and stuff every time I see the haircut is strong, but I don't want the video to get like smashed with copyright claims, so I won't. You'll just have to imagine it. But let's have a quick look at this first, of course.
Oh, I wonder when he's going to get here. Ah, there you are. I didn't see you there from over 12 inches away.
Well, the CV looks very good. Anything to add?
Not the talkative type I see, but a lot of relevant experience.
Some really good work as part of the third company out on the Eastern Fringe. Good.
Even a commendation from Corsaro here. That's unusual.
Well, that settles it. Congratulations, Chapter Master.
Okay, so I do quite like that video. Also, let's not go massively overboard with the fact that we saw a picture up there of, have you seen this bright light? Let's not go mental with that. It could most likely be just a joke, just a thing where it's like, haha, you see what we've done there. Don't read too much into it. Okay, so this is Shrike, who it appears is now a chapter master of the Primaris variety, and he's got some actually kind of interesting armour here. I don't know exactly what like, it looks like Phobos armour to me, but it's got the suppressor backpack by the look of it, and it's also got the little jets on the back of the legs. It's also got the weird landing gear stuff that the suppressors have got too. But it's not, I don't think it's the same, is it? In fact, no, do the suppressors have those legs as well? I can't remember. It looks pretty decent to me. It looks pretty decent. I like the fact he's still got the claws. That's important. That's good. Like, that's part of what Shrike is. You can't take the claws away. Maybe not quite as stealthy as the previous version, although, to be honest, that's probably not helped by the fact that he's doing a posy thing on top of a ruined barricade. Overall, I do like the personality of it. You're going to be shocked and surprised to know that I would have much preferred that the beaky helmet be the head that is on him as opposed to the emo haircut. To be honest, that's not really anything to do with the emo haircut itself. I don't mind it so much. It's okay. It's easy to take the piss, but it's not that offensive to me, really. I like the face mask that he's got, like the half helmet. I like the bottom half of it. But I always prefer having helmets on models. And it is the beaky helmet. It's a Primaris beaky helmet. And I know when I say it feels like someone missed the point, I don't think they did. I think it was exactly what it looks like. It's a nice cheeky nod. It's like, yes, it's Shrike. He has the beaky helmet, but this is a new version of Shrike. It's not the old Shrike. This is a new version of Shrike. And so the beaky helmet is more of a nod to the previous one as opposed to being a continuation. I would still prefer to have it on. I always prefer to have helmets on my models anyway, so there is that inbuilt bias towards that. But I think for most people, would prefer to have the beaky on as opposed to on the belt. It's such a thing. It's become such a thing, the beaky helmet. And whilst I get the idea of it's there, and I know you like it, but this is his head, I feel like most people would want to just stick it on, you know. I do quite like this model. I think it looks pretty good. It's again a decent reimagining of an older significant character into something a bit newer. As I say, it does feel a bit less stealthy, but then again, I mean, the pose has got a lot to do with that. And I realise that the backpack does look bigger, but is it necessarily that much bigger than a jump pack? I don't know. I'm not sure, but I do like it. It looks pretty decent. And the important thing is, you know, they've kept the claws. Can't zoom in on that picture, annoyingly, but they've kept the claws, which you absolutely need to do. And there are some nice touches, some nice little details on this. Again, I think they've done a decent job of reimagining Shrike into a Primaris form. They did a decent job with Corsair Khan as well, and Tigurius as well. But yeah, this one, I don't know, this one feels a little bit more special to me for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but it does. Okay, there's also some stuff for Necromunda. We'll have a quick look at this too. Might as well go through all of it.
Dripping gore and bloody meat, hidden cults, lies and deceit. To hunger mortal flesh succumbs, the Lord of Skin and Sinew comes.
Alright, that sounds rough. The Lord of Skin and Sinew. Well, at the very least, if you don't play Necromunda, that'll be stuff to convert for 40k. Let's be totally honest. Let's be honest, that's what I use most of Necromunda stuff for. There's some Middle-earth stuff as well. I'll be honest, I keep looking at these things, and it's got nothing to do with Lord of the Rings for me. I just look at things like this house and go, oh, if that was reasonably priced, that could be fun D&D battle map scenery. That could be a thing. Of course, it's probably not feasible, but it does look good. It does look nice. I feel like there's like with the new buildings and stuff for Lord of the Rings, they seem to be pushing more personality onto that game again, which I know is a weird thing to say because it's Lord of the Rings and therefore completely separate to everything else they do. But there's something about these that, I don't know, I like the look of them. I like the attention to detail that's going into them, and they have like a nice mix of like detailed and charming, I think is the way to put it. These just look nice. The Hobbit hole looked good, this looks good. More things like this I'm always going to like. The thing is, you can still use this stuff for other things as well. It's not like it's limited to Lord of the Rings. If you wanted to use it on like an Age of Sigmar battlefield, you probably could. So you're in the village where guys like horses, that's it, it's fine. You can explain your way around it if you want. And the two new models look decent as well. I feel like that kind of goes without saying for a lot of this stuff now, where it less comes down to the quality and more the like personal enjoyment of the stuff that Games Workshop's putting out. They all seem to be like high quality. It's just whether you like them or not. And yeah, the Lord of the Rings stuff looks decent. Little snivelling git. Okay. On to Warcry, and there's going to be a giant monster beastie. A 3-headed monster the size of a house, which looks terrifying, frankly. So whenever that gets properly revealed, I look forward to seeing what sort of god-awful monstrosity that turns out to be. So there's like the head of a lizard. There's like a griffiny sort of head. It's more of a dragony head, isn't it, there? And can we just see the third one around to the back and the side? I don't know. It's hard to tell. It looks massive, though. That's the important bit. Okay, so monsters and mercenaries is the next thing up for them. Now, this is where my prediction was almost a thing. It's not Tomb Kings, but it is more like Nagash stuff. So these are the Ossiarch Bonereapers, and I actually really like some of these sculpts. I'm not a big fan of these particularly, I have to admit. It's the grinning on some of the skulls that I'm not a big fan of. I don't know. I'm just not quite feeling the heads on these. But I will say I like the rest of them. The rest of them look cool. There's like a nice like the segmented armor thing is a nice theme that runs through these, and it looks decent. Not quite Tomb Kings, but I mean, this is what I meant by the crystal ball being fogged. It's like there is going to be a load of stuff for death, but just not quite the thing that you thought. I don't know if I'd ever see Tomb Kings again anyway. I really like this cavalry, to be honest. This cavalry looks cool. The horses having all the skulls like embedded in the body. I like that theme. It's the same that is in like is it the Mortarks? The Morghast, that's it. It's a cool bit of detail that works really well. Also, one of the horses having like a big bird head. I don't know why I like that so much, but I do. It looks like there's going to be quite a lot of like detail and recessed stuff in these. These might be the kind of thing that actually you'd be really, really good using contrast for. You'd have to use it carefully, mind, but for the bone, I reckon for the bone you could probably do it fairly quickly, as long as you're not like sloppy with it, because you don't want to hit the skulls underneath. Unless you don't care, in which case, go for it. So yeah, there's the Mortek Guard and the Kavalos Death Riders, which is these guys and these guys respectively. They look okay. I prefer the cavalry. I can't see what this guy is, so yeah, there's the Mortark Guard and the Kavalos Death Riders, and then there's this guy, who I don't know if they've actually said who this guy is. I have seen a few people, and this is like a bizarre complaint to me, I have seen a few people look at that and go, wow, they're just making Necrons in Age of Sigmar, or like how are we supposed to tell what that is, whether it's Necron or whether it's fantasy, or that's a bizarre complaint to me. Necrons are skeletons in space. That's literally what they are. The vast majority of their rank and file troops are literally just metal skeletons. I don't know what you want. The death stuff from Age of Sigmar is ghosts and skeletons. There's only so much you can do with a skeleton. It's a skeleton. What do you want? The colouring on this, yeah, it is darker, but I mean, if you look at the Necron stuff, there is there are like bone formations on this that you would not find on any Necron model. The Necrons are skeletons with Egyptian flavouring. That's what it is. That is a skeleton that's coloured darkly, yes, but the head is very clearly bone formed with teeth coming out of it. The shoulders are a lot more curved and streamlined, and again have like an organic approach to them. It's an odd complaint to go, oh, these skeletons look too much like the other skeletons from the other system. They're all goddamn skeletons. Skeletons look very similar. They're not gonna I don't know. It's a weird complaint that I don't quite like. At a glance, maybe. Oh, is that a Necron thing? Oh no, it's not. It's from Age of Sigmar. Like at a glance, maybe, but once you look at it for more than like 2 seconds, and to be fair, if you paint your Necrons bone coloured, which I know someone who does, at a glance you look at that and go, oh, is that it? No, oh no, that is 40k. It's just there's only so much you can do. There's only so much you can do. But yeah, I like the look of that guy. These guys I like the most. These guys are ridiculous. So, Necropolis Stalkers have 4 different personalities so that they can shift in battle and choose what's best, which means they also have 4 skulls, making 1 skull that it looks like that rotates around like the mare. Is it the mare in Nightmare Before Christmas that's got a head that spins round? Sort of like that. They look properly solid. I really like those models. Bit of General Grievous going on, yes, but who doesn't like a bit of Grievous now and again? There's also this ridiculous catapult. It's just ludicrous, fantastic, but ludicrous. Really like that. It looks awesome. It's so mad. So mad. Walks along on loads of little legs and oh yes, that's the kind of mad shit that I'm here for every time. Looks so good. Ludicrous. And so yeah, that's the Mortec crawler. I'm getting excited by the models and ignoring the actual names. And then finally is Orphean Catacross, which, oh boy, good luck painting that if you're new. Holy shit, there's a lot going on in this model. To be honest, that having complained about people mistaking the other thing for a net, that would make a very good Necron shard. Let's be honest. Well, never mind. But as like a little diorama goes, I absolutely love this. It looks crazy. It looks good, but it looks so mad. It's like so weird and yeah. I the fact that he's wearing armor, but the armor is also bone, covering what is presumably his own bone. It's very excessive, very over the top. And I believe we've seen the like sash that he's got in Rumour Engine stuff, and it was thought to be maybe Dark Eldar perhaps. But no, it's this guy. He seems to be wearing someone's skin as a classy sash. It's terrifying. Okay. And there's like all the little dudes that come with him. That's got to take so long to paint. It's going to take so long to paint. God bless all you who picked that up. I'm not going to lie, I kind of want it. But that's crazy. Warhammer Heroes is happening again, so if you have your nominations, then go for it, of course. There's also going to be Warhammer Legends, so things like Chaplain on Bike, they will have rules. The rules will be around forever, and they'll have points and all that kind of stuff. So that's good. The downside is that they kind of won't be recommended for tournaments and stuff. So it's event organisers and attendees alike can guarantee everything the game is easily available and has been subject to the same rigorous balance and playstating process. The Warhammer Legends stuff won't be, because once they have their points and stuff, they're set in stone. They won't change them. They won't revisit them. It's just, this is the thing. This is how much it costs, and they're just going to ignore it from that point on. So mixed bag. Good because you'll still be able to use this stuff. Bad because it might not necessarily make it into tournaments. But then again, if you're going into a tournament and you are in it to win it, you are not going to take stuff that isn't optimised anyway, I wouldn't have thought. So it's kind of a mix there. There's also the Angels of Death animated series, so there's some nice stills from that, which actually is looking pretty nice. It's looking good. Stylised, but good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what that is. Finally is a Sisters of Battle army set. So we'll skip the video. We'll look at the delightful pictures instead, because it's happening. November is the time where we will be able to get plastic Sisters of Battle. Look at all the helmets on that squad. Thank you. Yes. All my yes. 100% yes. Look at the helmets. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Done with the eye patch. I admire your dedication. I'm going to put a helmet on you. The rebreather mask for the flamer, though, I'm totally leaving that because that looks cool. But yeah, the normal sisters look absolutely fantastic. They look so good. And it's not going to be long. Oh, the Seraphim now is painted up. It looks great. For the most part, they've been very, very faithful to the old sister stuff. For the most part. I know there are things that have like split the line, have been very contentious, but for the most part, they've remained pretty damn faithful to the old sister stuff. And I like the fact that they have. There's also a new Penitent Engine. This is absolutely fucking great. I love this. I genuinely, I do not know how you would complain about this unless you wanted to arbitrarily go, well, it's not a woman on the front. Because there's going to be a female option anyway, because we've seen, I can't remember when it was, but they've shown a female head, I'm sure they have. But just look at it. Look at it. It's so grim and gothic and awful. And you know every time it takes a step, that padlock's smacking him in the nuts. Just to make it that much worse for the guy. That is a proper reimagining of like a classic model to me. It looks fantastic. It retains all the personality of the original. The details are just kind of refined and updated. Still got the massive buzzsaw, you've still got the flamers, still got like the braziers on top. They've properly nailed this one. Absolutely nailed this one. Such a good model. I want so many. I want to just have an army of them. It would be stupid. And there is also a painted canoness on here as well. Now, to be honest, painted up, my opinions on this model have changed slightly. I still don't like the big collar. I'm not a fan of the big collar at all. Now it's painted, it actually makes it worse for me because it just looks so weird and out of place. Same thing with the... I mean, it's not a big collar, it's a big, like, fleur-de-lis. I can never pronounce that, but I would still want to take that part of the model off. Actually, painted, I like the cane. I actually prefer the cane now that it's painted. It looks a bit better to me. But the big dangly things down the front, which I liked before, now that it's painted, I don't like because I think they stand out too much. So I've kind of done a bit of a reversal on a couple of things. I still don't like the big collar and the big fleur-de-lis. I don't like that. I would still get rid of that. I do like the cane now that I've seen it in colour, and I would keep that. But I now don't like the big dangly things with the incense in front because I think they're a bit too distracting and a bit too out there. So a bit of a shift around, bit of a change around. That's all the stuff for Nova. We're going to go back and keep this up because it looks amazing. So, yeah, that's all the stuff for Nova. Some good stuff, some really cool stuff. Sisters of Battle coming out in November, that is absolutely fantastic news. There's obviously going to be this big Psychic Awakening event. I can't wait to see what else they do with that. Overall, I'm happy with the reveals that we've seen so far this year. There's been some really high quality stuff in here, most of which I really like. So let me know which part of this was your favourite. Which models do you like? Which do you don't like? Is there anything you're especially excited for? Any predictions that you made beforehand that came true? And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Feel free to click all the things, Patreon, video, subscribe, all that stuff. Click it if you like, don't click if you don't want to. And of course, there's an affiliate link in the description for Element Games. If you click that, then you can get your 40k stuff from there, and you'll get 15 to 25% off. I get something for sending you that way. It's a nice way to support the channel with no extra steps, because you were going to buy all that stuff anyway, let's be totally honest. You can do that if you like. If not, that's fine too. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Toodaloo.